Hi guys, for this week's video, it's time to change the oil in the pit bike. Let me just go ahead and say, yes I am from the South, yes I do talk with an accent, and we say oil, we do not say oil. So before some jerk wants to point that out in the comments, I already know how I say it. So for starters, I'm just going to go over all the things that we're going to need to do this process. The first thing, you're going to obviously need something to catch the old oil that comes out of the bike. Now you can use anything. Most people probably prefer to use an oil pan. I don't have one of those, so I'm just going to use this old ice cream pail because it has a handle, so it's going to be easy for me to move around, and then I could, put a lid on it, cover it up. The next thing is you're going to need a funnel. And then you're going to need something to get the bolt off, and for that I'm just going to use a socket wrench or a ratchet wrench, whatever you prefer to call it, with a 11/16 socket. And then of course you're going to need new oil. Now I use just a regular 10W40 motor oil, and it's the Havoline brand. When I ordered my pit bike, in one of the confirmation emails that I received from the dealer, they told me specifically when you change the oil, you can use any 10W40 grade oil. So the first time that I did change it, I was kind of in a rush, and this is the only thing that I could find at the time. But I know a lot of people prefer to use specifically 4-stroke 10W40 motorcycle engine oil, and if you would prefer that, that's absolutely fine. Like I said, I was in a bit of a hurry. This is what I picked up, and since I know that it worked fine for me last time, I'm just going to go ahead and use the same thing. So now that we've got all of our tools, all the things that we need, let's get started. Alright, for step number one, what you're going to want to do is you're going to start your pit bike, and you're going to just let it sit and run for a few minutes to heat up the engine. And the reason you want to do that is because when your engine heats up, it thins out the oil, which means when you drain it, you will be able to get more of the old oil out. Now that our pit bike has been sufficiently warmed up, our next step would be to place our container underneath the drain, and you can see that here. The next thing you want to do is locate your drain bolt and remove it. I had some difficulties loosening my drain bolt right here, so I just went and grabbed some bolt buster and sprayed it around there just to kind of loosen it up a little bit. You could also use a WD-40 for that, just whatever you have laying around. Okay. Now we've gotten that loosened up. Hopefully you guys are seeing all of this. And watch out for your washer. We're just going to let that drain. And now you can see I've got the bike straight up and down. Just making sure I get every last drop out before I put the new in there. And lean the bike back down on the kickstand. I'm not sure if you can really tell right now, but we just have a slow drip going. Okay, so now it's just a waiting game. I'm gonna go ahead and clean off the washer and the bolt, since they got oil all over them. So I'm just gonna make sure they're all nice and clean before I put them back. Okay, so now I've got these clean. Now that just about all of the dripping has stopped, the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to take a paper towel or a rag, whatever you have, and I'm just going to wipe off around the drain right there and get it completely dry and clean before I put the bolt back in. Okay, now that that's clean, I'm going to reinsert our bolt and our washer, which if yours falls off like mine did, you want to put it right back on there. And now we're going to tighten it back down. You want to make sure it's nice and tight. And now, time to put in our new oil. We're going to take this out. You're going to want to wipe it off. The last time I put a little over 500 milliliters of oil in the engine, so I know about how much I need to put in there, but what I'm going to start off doing is using my measuring on this side here. I'm going to put about half of that, and then I'm just going to let it settle and I'll measure it, and then just continue to slowly add more and more until I get to the correct amount. And this is the part where our funnel comes in. And it's very important that you have a clean funnel. And I know that mine looks super dirty, but it's not. I did clean it. It's just from old age. Okay, that's a little bit over half. Now, I know that it's obviously not going to have enough in it, but this is just the way that I prefer to do it. I lean the bike over so it's nice and straight. Then I'm going to take our clean dipstick. I'm going to stick it down in there, screw it in, and I'm going to take it right back out. And you want to do this carefully so you get the right reading. Again, I know you guys can't see this, but we're about 3/4 of the way there, and we need to be all the way up to this bottom right here. We're just gonna add a little bit more. And there we go. It's like you should see the oil is all the way up to the top of the cross section, just under this little knob right here. So that tells us that we are full. And we're going to tighten that back down. And that concludes this week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful as well. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next week.